हर त्योहार किसी न किसी रूप में गांव से, किसानी से, फसल से जुड़ा हुआ हो। बोइंग सुकन्या प्रोग्राम को भारत की बेटियों के इस सामर्थ्य का भी बहुत लाभ मिलने जा रहा है।
From donning a veshti to holding massive roadshows, Prime Minister Narendra Modi's southern sojourn has been a display of devotion, optics, and a clear goal that the Bharatiya Janata Party is eyeing the 2024 mega elections. With just a few months left for the big battle, Prime Minister Modi has already made multiple visits to the southern states in less than a month, and more are scheduled in the weeks ahead. Even as we speak, the Prime Minister is in Chennai, where he held a roadshow a while back and inaugurated the Khelo India Youth Games. Earlier in the day, he was in Bengaluru, where he inaugurated a Boeing facility, the largest that the company has invested outside the United States. So the Prime Minister has been going to multiple southern states and of course at the Boeing facility, he talked about how much of a benefit the country will have with the Boeing company investing in India in the largest facility outside the United States. Now remember, just 2 days back, PM Modi was in Andhra Pradesh and Kerala, where he not just visited ancient temples, he also inaugurated developmental projects worth crores. While in Andhra, he offered prayers at the Veerbhadra temple in Lipakshi. In Kerala, where the BJP has no elected MLA or MP, the Prime Minister held a mega roadshow in Kochi. It was, remember, the Prime Minister's second mega roadshow in Kochi in the last 10 months. He also addressed the BJP Karyakartas in the state. Earlier, remember, on the 2nd of January, PM Modi had kick-started the new year with a visit to Tamil Nadu, Lakshadweep and Kerala. Now, BJP's Mission South, remember, comes as the party readies to fight the general elections this year. Out of the 131 Lok Sabha seats in the south, the BJP has never won in 84 constituencies and 3 states. Their only stronghold was Karnataka, which is currently being ruled by the Congress party. Back in 2019, the party had won 25 of Karnataka's 27 seats. Now, also remember, each of the southern states is uniquely different. Whether or not these visits would convert into votes, we'll have to see. But before I get in my guests on the show this evening, let me quickly play that bite for you where the Prime Minister spoke at the inauguration of the Boeing facility.
पिछले एक दशक में भारत का एविएशन मार्केट पूरी तरह से ट्रांसफॉर्म हो गया है। आज एविएशन सेक्टर से जुड़ा हर स्टेक होल्डर नए उत्साह से भरा हुआ है। आज भारत दुनिया का तीसरा बड़ा डोमेस्टिक एविएशन मार्केट बन चुका है। अब अगले कुछ वर्षों में डोमेस्टिक पैसेंजर्स की ये संख्या और भी बढ़ने जा रही है। इतनी बड़ी डिमांड को देखते हुए ही हमारी एयरलाइंस ने सैकड़ों नए एयरक्राफ्ट का ऑर्डर दिया है। लेकिन 10 साल में ऐसा क्या हुआ जिससे ग्लोबल एविएशन सेक्टर में भारत इतना आगे बढ़ गया?
All right, so that was Prime Minister Modi at the inauguration of the Boeing facility. Let me also get in my guests on the show this evening. GS Prashant, spokesperson for the BJP, is joining us. Bhavya Narsimurthy is joining us. She's from the Congress party. And Madhavan Narayan, senior journalist, is also joining us on the broadcast. Hello, good evening. Namaskar to all of you. Madhavan Narayan, let me start with you. How do you see Prime Minister's multiple visits to the southern states in the past few months? In less than a month, he's made 3 to 4 visits to different southern states. Do you think it's more of a symbolic battle to attain the final goal this year?
It's more than symbolic, Shreya. I think it's very important to remember three things. First is that the Prime Minister sees himself as the Prime Minister of the entire country, and to that extent, he wants to convey that image both within India and abroad, because the southern states are extremely important for India, because that's where the real hot new economics is. So Mr. Modi wants to help that and also wants to take credit for that. That is very important. He's doing both. So, and in the process, he also wants to live down the image of the BJP being a northern party, and he's working very hard to convey that image, because optics are very important in politics. Because if you're seen as a national party, the chances of your getting that extra fence-sitter votes is also very important, because a national party symbolizes stability both for international investors as well as the domestic fence sitter. Last but certainly not the least, it's very important to remember that Mr. Modi has his origins in the RSS and Hindu nationalism, as in Hindutva, and they want to, use this chance in the south, especially in Tamil Nadu, where there is a sort of a power vacuum after the demise of Jayalalitha in the opposition space. And to that extent, uh, ideologically, there is it's important to understand that Mr. Modi is first and foremost a, a karyakarta of the BJP and RSS, and after that, the Prime Minister, and therefore they want to have a long-term ideological project to uh, convey the idea that Sanatan Dharma is what unites India. And therefore, in the South, which is famous for traditions of progressive thinking and atheism and the Dravida movement, there is an attempt to build an extra force, at least with a long term in mind. These are the three things that are playing out. And
Okay.
very obviously, it is a political project. Uh, and it's not an easy one. He's working extra hard to ensure that there is an attempt to, there will be at least an image, if not reality, that the BJP can win beyond the Vindhyas.
Okay. Before I get in GS Prashant to really understand, the BJP's gains out of Prime Minister's visit, let me go across to Bhavya. Bhavya, as the opposition party, how do you see this really? The Prime Minister, of course, if we look at the Hindi heartland, he's probably, one man who cannot be or is very hard to challenge right now at this point. But if we look at the South, it's been a tough game for the BJP. But for the Congress party as well, only Telangana was this time around, where you won. How do you really see this, panning out in the southern states?
The southern states, how Mr. Modi has treated the states, the 4 states that he's visiting, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, or Kerala for that matter. None of the states have BJP in power, as we all know, and most of the states don't even have one MP from their state, from the BJP party. Here, Mr. Modi, sometimes he speaks about Team India and cooperative federalism, right? But his actions are totally against it. It's totally against the federalism and the Constitution of India. Let me give you the reasons why I'm saying this. The 14th Finance Commission had recommended 42% of the share to go to states, up from 32% that was existing. But Mr. Modi rejected that. Coming to Karnataka, let me give you examples of each state, how Mr. Modi has been treating us as they're not really treating us at par with the North Indian states. Karnataka, we had a drought, and the Chief Minister recently visited and requested for our relief package. of 18,000 crores and not a paise has been sent to Karnataka. Whether it is Tamil Nadu during the floods, Mr. Modi only visits the southern states or even, the troubled states, if I may say, if I include Manipur, only during elections. Otherwise, I don't think he really cares about states like where BJP is in opposition or BJP is not ruling. Not just that. They have withheld the funds which are still due, which they are supposed to give us for MNREGA, both Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. And he goes off only to flag off Vande Bharat Express from every Vande Bharat Express. And why is the Prime Minister wasting his time in flagging off individual trains? Okay, once he should have done it, the first train from wherever it started, but he visits. Because that's the only thing he can show off. Like if a railway minister comes, that itself is too much to flag off one train.
Okay.
But Prime Minister comes spending hundreds of crores.
Okay. Let me get in GS Prashant to respond.
The governors, how governors and the state
enough of mudslinging.
Opposition ruling.
We can do enough and more.
The governors are not being responsive.
Okay.
They are actually withholding all the bills.
Bhavya, let Mr. Prashant respond.
They are withholding all the bills.
Mr.
and
Prashant,
they are not letting the state
respond
governments
to
of opposition
what Bhavya
government
said.
rule. Yeah.
Shreya, firstly,
Okay.
I'll rebut the
GS
Congress's lies
Prashant, go ahead.
because
Yeah.
telling lies is in the Congress DNA, because she was talking about the 14th Finance Commission. I think she has to understand 15th Finance Commission is going on now, and from the 32% what was there in 14th Finance Commission, it is 42% now in 15th Finance Commission. So therefore, the devolution of taxes in 15th Finance Commission is more. And what was in the UPA regime was 32%. After Modi government has come, it's become 42%. Be that as it may, it is the Congress's thing that they are not able to withstand that BJP has been constantly increasing its vote share in the last 10 years. Because if Congress is now making a statement that BJP is not present in the South and Congress are present, let me make it very clear to Bhavya that Congress has got, in 2014, they had only 22 seats in the entire South India. BJP had 22 and Congress had 19. And in 2019, BJP has 29 and Congress has 28. And BJP has one support of the independent, which BJP supported, which means BJP has got 30 to Congress has 28. And at no point in time, even in a state like Kerala, where we don't have a single MP, our vote share in the 2019 elections, believe me, is a massive percentage. It is about 12.93% in Kerala.
Okay.
So therefore, you can never discount that BJP has been constantly rising. This is the game of Congress, that they always abuse the Prime Minister, mock him, take names, but they have to understand that India, which was in fragile 5 in 2014, now is in the top 5. And now we are leapfrogging to become the third largest economy in the next 3 to 4 years.
Okay, GS Prashant, you made your point. We're talking about the southern states here.
Congress is unable to digest this fact.
Okay. Hold that thought. Okay, Bhavya, GS Prashant, hold your thought there. I have to slip into a short break. I'll come back to both of you and Madhvan Narayanan. Bhavya, hold your thought. I'm slipping into a short break right now. We're coming back with this debate right on Mirror Now. Stay tuned. Welcome back. You're watching Mirror Now. On the show today, we are continuing our discussion on prime ministers in the BJP's mission south ahead of the general elections. GS Prashant, Bhavya and Madhvan Narayanan continue to be with us on the broadcast. Let me go across to Madhvan Narayanan. Madhvan Narayanan, after the assembly polls results came in recently, there was this whole conversation about the north-south divide and what works in the north doesn't work in the south. How do you really see this division, so to say, that has been now coming up so much? And now, of course, we have the 2024 mega election coming up. How do you see this really?
Shreya, let me give you a slightly deep answer to that question, because it is a very important question. People are using very simplistic yardsticks to analyze the difference between North and South. I have this thing called the Ayodhya-Ahmedabad axis theory, which I've spoken about, which is if you draw a line on the Indian map between Ayodhya and Ahmedabad, the further you go away from this line, the less there is the impact of the Hindutva ideology. And there is a reason for this. There is a historical, philosophical reason, because forget about now you have the communists and the Dravida movement and atheists, but India has always been a land of heterodoxy and pluralism within Hinduism. It's very important to understand that there is big diversity within Hinduism, and Sanatana Dharma, as we call it, uh, is a recent attempt to unite it, whereas actually 100 years ago, even Sanatana Dharma was seen as one of the several aspects of Hinduism. We had even Arya Samaj and Brahma Samaj countering Sanatana Dharma 100 years ago. So there has been an attempt to uh, redefine and expand Sanatana Dharma to the south, but because of social reasons such as casteism and modern reasons such as scientific thinking and rationalism, these are very robust ideas in the south. If you go back to 1,000 years, even the Lingayats of
Okay.
Karnataka are essentially heterodox people. And recently you have the Periyar-led Dravida movement. So ideologically, and South is very
Yeah.
robust intellectually, which means lots of questions are asked. You cannot say this is our great tradition. Somebody will say, what is tradition? Who defines what is tradition? So when you have intellectual barriers to conquer, you have to go that extra mile, and nothing is sacred in the South. And this is where the North-South divide comes in. Everything is and will be questioned in the South, and you have to answer rationally using history, philosophy, purpose of life, and everything. And this is not properly understood.
But you know, Madhvan Narayanan, as a North Indian, let me just come in here and defend my fellow North Indians
You
and say
can't
we're
paint
as
let me
somebody from
intellectual.
complete.
India as
Don't
a
Let
undermine
me
the North
complete.
Indian
People are not
voters.
Let me
understanding.
But
complete.
okay,
I
let
knew.
me
I
No,
knew.
Shreya, no, this is
Let
not
me
on.
complete.
This
let
statement
I
by
have
the
to wrap
senior
this up,
journalist
Madhvan
is
Narayanan.
not
Yeah,
I
yeah.
right.
just
One,
have
You
one.
I
cannot
have
make a
paucity of
statement
time.
saying
Let me
that
quickly
you have
get
to
in.
explain only rationally in the south and not in the north. It is totally devoid of merit because this
Okay.
is the ploy which is being done by the communists and the Congress leaning persons to say there's a divide between north and south, where in actuals there is no divide because as a country we are moving forward. And this is the imaginary line being drawn saying our traditions are different. You have to explain us. No, you can't take Periyar as an example because Jawaharlal Nehru is on record. You check your archives, has written letter to Comrade saying that Periyar is seeming to be a lunatic and his ideas. So therefore, you can't take Periyar as a model and say that South is different. Definitely, South and North, the entire country has been protective of Sanatana Dharma, and all these thousands of years, Hinduism has flourished because of this, because it's a way of life, and Sanatana Dharma does not discriminate on caste at all. Because all that it used to bring out, and even now it is very clear in Sanatana Dharma that you are not discriminating people on caste, and in fact, the Varnashrama which they talk about is completely different from what is in Sanatana Dharma. So therefore, you cannot say that in North there is no rationality required and in South rationality required. At the end of the day,
Okay.
now we are looking at India as a growth oriented country and we are moving to a third largest economy in the world. And at this
Okay.
stage,
Okay, GS
people
Prashant.
are only
Prashant,
trying to
you've made
divide
your
the country
point.
from the
Bhavya, you
within.
wanted to make a point.
Break on that.
Yeah, one point.
Okay. Madhvan Narayanan, I'll come to you. Let Bhavya make her point and quickly then. Bhavya, 30 seconds.
Yes. It's as simple as in South India, we do not bring religion into politics. Here, all the elections are fought on developmental programs as it should be. The moment religion is brought into politics just shows that BJP has not worked on its developmental agenda that he had promised in 2014, whether it is about 2 crore jobs per year or any other development
So
programs
Bhavya,
that
is
they
it okay
have
if
asked
Rahul
us,
Gandhi
they have
visits
mentioned. They have
temples,
only
Priyanka
fought
Gandhi
every
Vadra is visiting temples? Is that fine? All right. I have paucity of time. I'll have to wrap this up here. GS Prashant, Bhavya and Madhvan Narayanan, thank you very much to all of you for joining us on the broadcast and sharing your perspective. I'm afraid there's so much to be discussed in this, but I have paucity of time. Thank you to all of you for sharing your perspective on this broadcast. Thank you very much.